Culture shock? I wouldn't say so. It's quite a free country and we're living in the city, so nothing as of such yet, I'd say. Different to back home. Basically, everything is in English, and here most of the things are in Bulgarian. There are signs, the billboard and stuff. But then Google Translate, it's there offline, so that was really helpful. Similar to back home. I'd say the roads, everything is quite furnished, everything is quite modern here.
It's just like the streets in general, the attractions. Like there are a lot of attractions here, but from like Toronto, like that type of area, it's Toronto's a lot like bigger. Like it's more like, you know, the Times Square area. They have like that type of area. And here I feel like it's more, everything's a bit more, you know, a little bit more smaller, but also it gives more of like a like home type of vibe. So things like that are different. And I feel like I do like it, but I've adjusted to it now for sure. And I like being independent and everything out here. Like you do yourself, and I was always dependent on my parents. But you are always gonna have like that sense of like you miss back home, and when you go there, like you're gonna appreciate it more. But I actually do. I like this area. Like I like it better than I thought I would like it. I made a big deal. Like I didn't think I'd like it when I came, but I do appreciate it now.
I lived in Ireland and Canada before coming to Bulgaria. So the main problem was that the language barrier. Not everybody here speaks English. So especially for taxi drivers, they will not speak English normally, but you have a translating apps and you have other things to communicate. But other than that, I enjoy the street foods because unlike in Canada and Ireland, you can't find a street food place right outside. But if you walk by in Bulgaria, you'll see like a couple, one or two, just to grab food for the walk. And it's really cheap here. The prices here is much cheaper than anywhere else I've seen. So in euro to leva in Bulgaria, it's only 1-to-2 ratio. And I see the same prices as in euros. This is really nice. When I lived in Ireland, all the products there from major brands or like something simple as like beans or getting bread was very similar here in Bulgaria. And people here are also very nice. You don't find anybody bad who's mean to you. People here, you can ask them a question and they're willing to answer you and help you out and show directions. So for public transport in Bulgaria, we can buy a monthly card where you pay the initial amount for the whole month and that's it. Back in Canada, I had to pay every time to get on the bus. So I pay like $1 Canadian or $2 Canadian every time I tapped onto the bus and then when I tap out. But in Bulgaria, just one single price for 21 leva, so the student discount, for the whole entirety of the month. So it's much cheaper here.
I would say the prices are actually stuff are more affordable here. Like certain things like groceries and stuff, like they're affordable, they're more or less the same price, and they have most of like the brands that are there back home. So when I like go to the store, I'm like, oh, I know that. And I like grab that. So it doesn't feel like really hard to sort of like navigate through the grocery store. Like everything just feels okay. Like it feels normal. The street food's really good. I've tried like shawarma here, like when I came, and it tastes so good and it reminds me of home. Most of the fast food restaurants are here, but they sort of like taste different, so it kind of feels weird. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It's not like it's bad. It's just like really different because it's like the same fast food restaurant, but the meals taste different, and they have like different like say back in Qatar they have like sort of like Arab kind of like McDonald's stuff, and then it's sort of like spicy, and then here it's sort of like they just have like completely new things, and I'm like whoa, yeah. So that kind of like blew my mind. Maybe about the weather's kind of moody. It changes like really differently. But that's an experience because back in Qatar we don't have autumn. And Sofia has the most beautiful autumn like ever. Like it's just like you just see like the leaves just like everywhere and it's so pretty. And yeah, like I've really wanted to experience autumn and I can't wait for snow. Similar, maybe just like the amount, like the culture, like the amount, like how much they value their culture. Like back in Qatar, like there's like souks everywhere where you see like Qatari culture, and here there's like museums and you can just like try to get to know Sophia personally, and it feels nice.
The shopping places, we have a lot of, like Kaufland for example, DM, those shops we have in Germany as well, when you want to get some groceries or stuff. And then you have the stuff for clothing, New York or H&M, Zara, we have all of those we have in Germany too. Similar to back home in Germany, for example, is, as we are here in the EU country as well, a few things you'll find similar to Germany regarding the system and stuff like that. But when I talk about my roots, Kurdish people, I think that helped me a lot with the culture here. So, because I think it's not that big of a difference between the Kurdish and the Bulgarian culture as it is between the German and Bulgarian culture. So I didn't have any kind of a cultural shock or something like that. I felt comfortable from the first moment. Honestly, what I sometimes miss from the German system is the organized stuff. Like everything is on point. That's what Germans are famous for, I think. Everything has their place. Everything is sorted out and planned. And sometimes I realize myself being too German sometimes and not being able to get comfortable and loose.
I think one negative one, I think, is like the whole one culture shock was with the whole ecological stuff, because in Germany we do a lot of recycling, and that's not the case here. We don't really separate the trash here. Also, a lot of people smoke here. It's a bit strange, and I think one good one is that the people here are pretty chilled. I think they're like, okay, do it today, do it tomorrow, everything will be fine. It's not a big deal, everything here.
Here people are very open with everything really. They're very similar to Brazil in that way, that they're very open-minded, and I find a lot of young people here, so in that way it's way more similar to Brazil than to the UAE. The food is very similar to Brazil. Here you guys don't eat a lot of spicy food. That's at least my impression from it. I love the food here, and the weather is very different, of course. It's way colder right now, but I heard it gets warmer, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Nature here is way more similar to Brazil than to the UAE. The UAE is desert, and here it's way greener. There's many mountains and everything, but I feel that here it's actually those things, you can find them way closer to the city than you would back in my city. And there we don't have mountains. We have beaches and waterfalls and those things, but you have to travel a lot. And here, not really. You can, travel for like an hour and a half and you can see those beautiful places.